Nick of Time show. Go check out that show. It's a great show. It's a great show.
New York, New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Nick of Time show. Here giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And guess what, guys? It's time to talk about what? A 4-game winning streak. That's right. The Knicks actually won a game on a back-to-back night versus the team who was on its own 4-game winning streak, beating the Raptors 119-92. That is right. 92 points. OG Anunoby came back to Canada and reminded them what they've been missing. It's 26.6 steals, 5 assists and 2 blocks. Josh Hart on one ankle had 22 points, 2 steals, 6 assists and 5 rebounds. Also 4 of 7 from 3. Cat only had 8 points tonight, but had 22 rebounds, with 7 of them being offensive. Brunson only gave you 13 and 4 assists. Koleck had 5 points and 10 assists. But the other half of Wingstop, Mikal Bridges, the one everybody wants to get rid of. He said, shut the hell up. I'm dropping 30 points on your head with 4 assists. The Knicks scored 60 points in the paint and held another team to under 100 points. Last 4 games, other teams are averaging 88 points on the offensive end, and the Knicks defense is looking like it's been revitalized, and we won again. All right. 119-92, and we're going to talk about it all, good, the bad, and the ugly. Before I do, I'm going to introduce you to my peoples. First and foremost, it is the Latin assassin, ESPN contributor, Bleacher Report contributor, Lee Escobedo. Was good, Lee?
Brother, sis, great to be here after a 4-game win streak solidified. I want to give a special shout out today to the chat, to the KOT family for coming through strong, loud, and active in our midday Giannis conversations today when I went live with my brothers Phil Porto and Fritz Alessandor. Y'all showed up heavy, 700 in the chat. I mean, very active, very, very active. Also very active in the YouTube comments as well. And I loved how many people I saw reposting the stream. Special shout out to our newest member, Al from Harlem, and Guard Up Knits, who both reposted the stream. Much love to you both, brothers.
That's what's up. I didn't even see that. Shout out to you guys. Also shout out to the chat, man. Y'all here early. I am Sue Beauty, Sean Wilson, Jabroni. Shout out to everybody rocking early in the comments on the KOT show. Okay. Also, shout out to our ex-AAU coach, our girl, Be the Motivator. Was good, B.
That's all I gotta say. Let's get into it. Great win tonight. Let's talk about it.
If you guys didn't know, I might have to like make her bigger a little serious. If you guys didn't know, what she just showed you is that Mikal Bridges shirt. All right. So yeah, look at that. Yeah. Take that. All right, pause. All right. Ryan G, next, you already know, is the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G's in the building. You know, Nano, the front office, listens to our podcast because 4 games ago we gave Mike Brown an ultimatum. He was like, the next 5 games, if you do not perform, if the team does not perform well these next 5 games, we're going to call for your head. And since that moment, the Knicks have been 4-0, with the last game of January coming on Friday against the Blazers. Let's go.
And like I said before, man, I remember right before everybody was saying fire Tom Thibodeau, he benched Cam Reddish, and the Knicks go on a 9-game winning streak after getting humiliated, losing to Dallas. Once again, the Knicks get humiliated, lose to Dallas. Mike Brown benches Jordan Clarkson, and now we're on a 4-game winning streak. Will we get to 9? Will history repeat itself? I don't know, but this is getting very interesting. This is why you just never know what's going to happen in this NBA. You could be down 1 minute and back in the game the next minute. You cannot give up. Man. You got to wait it out and let us see what happens. I'm ready to see what's going to happen with this team. I already get to see to break this game down too. Who wants to start out, man? I'm a pass the ball. I'm a pass the ball this You know what? I'm passing the ball to B because I feel like this is B's day for sure today. So I'm gonna pass the ball to B first. And B, let us know, what did you think about today's game?
It's just why I haven't been so full on board with breaking the team up just yet, because that's what today showed, that we have a team. Jalen Brunson and Towns offensively were terrible. They did do other things. I actually saw Jalen Brunson, play a little bit defense today. Very shocked by that, but he played some defense today. Towns was a monster on the board. A lot of things you could complain about with their game outside of those two factors, but then Wingstop showed back up. They had me a couple shows ago saying Wingstop is overrated, nasty heats. Kind of agreeing with you guys, but I had to remember what I know and what I feel. What I always felt honestly was that we have a team. This team is deep. And outside of Wingstop, you had guys like Tyler Koleck come in and get 10 assists. Shout out to Prez, by the way. I know he's a big Tyler Koleck fan, and Phil too. You had Shamit. There was a couple plays. His numbers didn't jump off the board, but there was a lot of plays where he just came through clutch, hit a big three for us. Clarkson, I wouldn't blame him too much. He had to be benched, but it's not why I feel like we're winning. I don't think. I just feel like the team is now playing their roles. We're playing better defense. The turnovers are killing me. Free throws too, but those are things that we could clean up. What you can't clean up is lack of effort. You either have it or you don't. So that's what I'm really happy with. I like some of the adjustments that's been made over this winning streak. And I just appreciate OG and Mikal tremendously. For F them picks. I don't care how much you paid them. This is why we did these things though. So when they do prove us that, it just feels good. It does suck. I'm not gonna act like when they're not playing that. I do tremendously understand why sometimes you guys are on board with other adjustments. But this is why, again, I just stick with them because they are capable. And when someone's capable, that's why it's frustrating. So it's just nice to see them come through and show that the payday doesn't matter, the picks don't matter. Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. Wingstop. I'm gonna throw Josh Hart into this thing too. Wingstop and Josh Hart. There was a time in the third quarter, Knicks were down 11, and they just kind of put the clamps on them. They went on a defensive clinic. OG Anunoby started it off to me, and maybe between him and Josh Hart. But OG Anunoby himself clamped on to Brandon Ingram and got 6 steals. A lot of open court dunks just from OG Anunoby himself. The ball was moving. The lineup of Koleck, OG, Mikal, Towns, and I feel like I'm missing somebody else. Really, and Josh Hart really got moving and got the ball moving. Mikal Bridges was super aggressive in that third quarter himself. The 3-point slump was broken that day. Also went to the line. Also was moving out the ball extremely well. And when everybody was moving the ball around, I feel like everybody got into a nice rhythm. And what made this impressive, it wasn't just offensively, it was defensively and offensively. And it was Koleck playing defense, and it was Cat playing defense, and it was Wingstop doing what we paid them to do. This is the version of the team, one of the versions of the team that I like to see. When we're all playing on a string offensively and all playing on a string defensively, no matter whose game it is today. Today it was Wingstop's game and Wingstop's day, and I'm happy they performed the way they performed.
Jay, can I shout out our super chats?
Sure, go ahead.
Man, I've been all season. Y'all have been giving, whether we win, whether we lose, whether we fight, whether we agree. You guys are giving and really helping the channel grow, helping us be able to pay for each other's upgrades visually, helping us pay for our bills. It's a blessing, and we do not take it lightly. We really appreciate it. Iconoclast sits 994 gives a 999 super chat. Doesn't have any copy with it, but it doesn't even have a photo, so I'm not sure who you are or what you want to say. But I love the generosity, regardless.
It's Tom Thibodeau.
Icons don't need photos, Lee. All right.
What's up, Dibs?
Awesome. Here he is, a man of his word. Gamer Channel giving a $20 super chat. As promised, he says, OG Anunoby, 20 points, 2+ steals, and shoot better than 50% from the field. If he hits these markers, Knicks are almost unbeatable. If he can be our second best player, it puts Cat as third scoring option. Excellent point, and you're a man of your word, and we appreciate the donations. Thank y'all.
Absolutely. Shoot, let's talk about OG Anunoby for a minute, man. What did you think of OG Anunoby's game? I felt like he really stepped up, and I think even his drives for the basket, like it just seems like he's figured out how to use his strength and his driving gravity perfectly.
I'll start.
Yeah.
Man, OG Anunoby, we've talked repeatedly about how he is not just the best on the team, which this is without a question, but also one of the best in the NBA operating in the dunker spot, and one of the best in the NBA attacking along the baseline, and one of the best in the NBA cutting without the ball. He did all of those things tonight in droves, all 4 quarters, kept it consistent. His scoring and touch around the rim matched with his athleticism around and to the rim. It adds a completely different dimension that really no other Knick on the team can really do, with kind of the exception of Mitch, but Mitch doesn't have the finishing capacity as OG does around the rim. And also OG's movement without the ball. That keeps the wheel moving, and it will always help the other 4 members that he's sharing the court with get better opportunities for themselves, but also easier passing lanes as well. And he has such great hands at catching the ball and finishing around the rim. Also, defensively, this was a reminder of why when OG's locked in, bro, this was like the OG that we've been wanting to see for really, damn it, the entire season. You know, we saw some of it in December, but it wasn't consistent. This, to me, might have been his overall best defensive outing. Yeah. No surprise. It comes against his former team, the Toronto Raptors, a team that he probably still holds a little bit of bite for. The fact that he wasn't there when they won the championship. He was in street clothes with, I think there was some type of hamstring injury. But listen, man, he is the Knicks' best defender. Tonight, he looked the best at playing passing lanes. That's typically a role that Mikal Bridges and Mitchell Robinson have been really steady all season. But tonight, he was jumping passing lanes. He was cutting off-ball actions that were happening. His defense, it came in waves, and when it comes, it obliterates whatever kind of action the Toronto Raptors were trying to get into. And which is, I mean, that's why he's avoided steady criticism. It's one of the reasons why he's one of the guys that we don't routinely or repeatedly bash harshly, because when he's locked in, my goodness, he's our best chance at ever becoming a top 15, top 12 defense. Because I don't think we can be top 10, but top 15, top 12, it's going to be because OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson are both healthy and combine their powers to suffocate defenses. And he was incredible. And 1/2 of an incredible performance by Wingstop. Mikal Bridges was also awesome. But that was my notes on OG, and I was extremely impressed to see him come out and absolutely dominate.
Absolutely. OG, woo! Great, impressive game by OG. Brian G, man, what are your thoughts on the game? OG, Mikal, Wingstop, Josh Hart?
Well, speaking of OG, Lee pretty much said it all. Very impressive game by OG. I think probably one of my favorite plays tonight was when he guarded 2 people on the Raptors at one time, when I think it was the second quarter when Brandon Ingram went up for a shot and blocked his shot, and then the ball went to Barnes, and then contested Barnes at the 3-point line and made him miss. And then he dribbled the ball up the court, but then, OG needed work in his handles because he'd be getting stripped sometimes, and the ball found Cat. And then Cat threw the ball to Bridges, cut into the basket. I think that was one of my favorite plays in the game today. But yeah, OG, when he's locked in, he's locked in. And one of the reasons why I gave him a B- as a grade in the midseason is because at times this season he looked like the defensive player of the year, with the way he locks in certain games and in clutch situations to shut down his opponent. And today, he had a masterclass on the defensive side of the ball, so you definitely have to give OG his props like that. And even Mikal Bridges with Wingstop. You see, this is the thing with Mikal Bridges. It's like, all right, lately we've been clamoring, we have to get him out of town. He's not living up to his price that the Knicks paid for him to get him to New York and this and that. We want to include him in a trade and all this, but when he plays like this, and it's like, he doesn't have to drop 30 points a night. He doesn't have to do that. It's just being a bit more aggressive on the offensive side of the ball. That's all we really ask for him, because defensively he holds up for the most part. Defensively, it's just being more aggressive on the offensive side of the ball. And I like the activity from Mikal Bridges, because the cuts to the basket and also the relocation at the 3-point line. Yeah, because I think there was a few passes by Koleck in the third quarter where he found Bridges behind the arc, and that's because, and it's not even because Koleck was, manipulating the defense. It's because he just relocated in Koleck's view, and Koleck was able to just deliver him the pass and hit the 3. So you have to definitely give Mikal Bridges his props. He definitely had a good game tonight. In the first half, I feel like it was just an effort game by the Raptors. The Raptors were just showing more effort in the game, and that's why they got out to the early lead, especially on the offensive boards. They were able to dominate on the offensive boards, but But the second half, the Knicks just turned it on. I think they outscored the Raptors 72-41. So, yeah, the team is definitely turning around defensively. You just hope that it keeps going.
My last thing on the OG, my last thing on OG, just want to taunt a little bit. Safe to say we won that trade. Quickly with just 7 points today. RJ with just 14 points. I know a lot of people like to say, shout out to them though. They're having good seasons overall, but typically when you play against the team, your former team, especially the team that you traded for, you want to show up against. So that's why shout out to OG for showing that I was worth it. You should have kept me, even though I don't believe he wanted to stay in Toronto, but
Didn't.
They could have did more to keep him and they didn't. That's why the Knicks were an easy choice at the time. And yeah, just quickly and RJ just did not show up today after they really quickly just dropped 40 recently. Shout out to Ingram though, played a very great game. I think that's why they were in the game most of the time. Ingram was a pest. Because we could say there were times where I was a little bit questionable with Nickel and OG because Ingram, but there is a such thing as good defense, better offense. And Ingram just had a lot of possessions where the offense was just a little bit better. That mid-range is ridiculous. But yes, it's safe to say that we won that trade.
OG set him down. Oh, go ahead.
Which trade?
The trade where we traded. Who did we trade? Yeah, we
traded.
The OG trade. RJ and McCall.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were saying we won the Bridges trade or we won the
RJ
and IQ.
OG trade. Add some picks, but
I'm just messing with you, sis. We definitely
I think it was a nice welcome back to Toronto show.
We didn't just win the OG trade, as I told Fritz. We fleeced them, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you know what? Give this Knicks team credit because we didn't have Mitchell Robinson on a back-to-back night.
Right.
We didn't have Deuce McBride on a back-to-back night. Some would argue those are our two best defenders, or at least top two defenders.
Statistically, too. Yeah.
Statistically, Deuce having the best net rating. Freaking Mitchell Robinson has been on a defensive tear for the last week and a half or so. The Knicks still were able to play pretty good defense. Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson in particular.
Yeah.
Like, even though today when it came to the offense, I felt like I didn't like Jalen Brunson's shot selection today. But what I did like from Jalen and Josh Hart was they played defense. Jalen Brunson closed out on 3-point shooters consistently all night. He fought over screen consistently all night. Josh Hart came back on a bad ankle. He's still on a bad ankle. He came back too early because this team has been skidding. And he was a big reason why we started running away with the game in the third quarter. And it also hit a couple of big threes. So it was like the grit of this team really showed out against a team that's a top 5 defensive team. And as soon as I feel like defensively we're fine. For the most part, we fouled a little bit too much. The Raptors shot 18 free throws in the first half, but they shot like 30% in the first half. So that's telling me that the defense is good, but we're being too physical. But I just felt so that's why I didn't necessarily feel like we could. I felt like we still had a chance to win because at the end of the day, we still have better shooters on this team. And when you have better shooters and the defense is holding up the way it is, I always felt like there was a chance we can blow the game open when both of those things happen at the same time. And that's kind of what happened in the third quarter. The defense and the offense started to catch up, and we really started to play well. And I'm just really happy that the Knicks have refound their defensive identity for these 4 games. That's because, like I said before, if you want to be a championship team for real, we got to be top 12, top 10 defense to be taken.
Where are we now in the rankings, in the rating?
I don't know. I know we climbing. You hold 4 teams in a row to under 100 points.
Let's see.
Blow out one team by 50.
A big part of that was the fact that Mike Brown staggered Cat and Brunson tonight. With Mitchell Robinson not being available, he knew that it was going to be foolish to have both of them sharing the court for the majority of a game. But it's a team that loves to get downhill and attack the basket. It's not a team that shoots a whole bunch of threes. They're a team that really likes to get into the teeth of a defense. So we went on our run. No surprise when Cat was out there, but Brunson wasn't. We were able to mitigate a little bit those overlapping issues that we have at guarding the rim, but also closing out. I thought overall the defense throughout the game, I thought we helped a little bit too much. defensively instead of just kind of staying on our man and trusting for whoever was darting. Brunson especially, I thought, was atrocious in the second half at overhelping. That led to some of them cutting into the lead in certain moments. But I liked what I saw on both ends of the ball. I thought there was a lot of good things to glean on both ends. One of the notes that I had that I thought was important for the Knicks to really start understanding and implementing when Brunson's on the court, that's when I think the organized offense, the actual play calling, right, needs to happen, because Brunson is such a great gravity shifter that you can actually run sets, and the guys that are the primary option will see most of the time single coverage because you have to stay honest on Jalen Brunson. Koleck showed that if you're going to freestyle, and the Knicks, from what I can tell, I think most of the time they're doing more by Princeton style offense where it's a lot of movement and motion. They're doing that more than they are running a actual play, from what I can tell. And that, I think it's actually better for them to run the motion offense when Koleck has the ball, because for many reasons, he's a better playmaker, he's a better table setter, he's a better passer, he has better court vision. And I thought when Koleck's minutes, when they went on that run in the third quarter, that 27-4 third quarter run, it happened because they got stops, they got in transition, and they made the right pass and the right read. It was more instinctual than it was, let's get into our set and try to see if we can get something going with this off-ball pinch post action happening here. That, to me, should be reserved for the Brunson minutes, not the Koleck minutes. And I thought tonight we did a good job of balancing that, and I want to see more of that, especially against opponents who are hot and streaking and have a lot of momentum behind them when we play them. That helps us get into our sets early. My second point, and I'll land the plane here, I like to see us initiate more inside of a three-point line. I think way too often we have to try to walk into coverage, right? Because the defense is already set. I think there should be a little bit of dribble penetration by either Brunson or Bridges or Hart. Once you get past that free throw line, then run the cut, or then run something, relocation three on the left side or right side for one of our great corner shooters. I see so much of our action still happening above the three-point line. And that was something I really wanted to be curtailed when we went from Tibbs to Brunson, because Tibbs loved having that high pick and roll. And we're still kind of over-relying on that. And it slows up our defense and keeps Brunson on ball and keeps him over-dribbling. So just some minor adjustments I think we need to make if we're going to keep this team together or blow it apart, whatever's going to happen. I think some simple alterations to this offense can get us easier shots quicker within the offense.
Well, on that Tyler Koleck point, he's saying we should freestyle more when Tyler Koleck's playing. I don't know if you're going to be seeing Tyler Koleck playing.
Who knows, man? He's been so crazy with the rotations.
This is like, okay. I mean, when Deuce McBride gets back, Tyler Koleck is going to be right. He's going to be sitting right here.
You're going to be warming the bench again.
Right next to Coach.
That's the thing about having a deep team. I know a lot of people was questioning why Mitch played Sacramento and didn't play this game. I kind of see the vision just a little bit. Raptors is a very small team. I could see how he wanted to use Mitch against Sacramento, where they play a little bit where Sabonis was back and then pressures on the boards and things like that. I think the tallest guy, Lee, what's that kid's name again that was available today that played the center?
Colin Murray Boyles.
Yes, he's only 6'8".
Oh,
yeah, he's very good. He's 6'8".
Yeah.
So
DJ love him.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I think that was the tallest guy that they played today. I don't know how tall Scotty Barnes is, but outside of him, 6'8".
Scotty Barnes like 6'9", I think.
6'8", 6'9".
Okay. But he doesn't play the center position, so I could see why Mike Brown went with the adjustment of playing Mitch in the Sacramento game versus the Toronto game. And he got a little bit lucky though, because this was one that was a little bit, but also with this team, people keep questioning why Tyler isn't playing either. So just wanted to brush on that. When you have, like you said, Miles back in, it's kind of hard to play. People want to keep seeing 10, 11 man lineups. Like that was my biggest issue in the beginning of the season when he was doing that, because it's hard for players to get into a flow then, because you have guys coming into a quarter and then coming out, whether they're playing hot or cold or hot, because you want to get everybody else in to get some minutes in. It's only one basketball. It's only 12 minutes each quarter. It's hard to play 10, 11 guys consistently. So that's why sometimes guys, when you're questioning why isn't Tyler playing, why isn't Mitch playing this game or that game, it goes more with the opponent than it does more with whatever you guys would prefer.
Yeah, and it's like, listen, this is kind of what we've been wanting last year too. Like we wanted to expand the rotation on back-to-backs. and we're actually seeing an expanded rotation on back.
And yeah, shout out to Tyler for stepping up, whether he's playing or not, because it seems like whether he's hitting the bench or not, he's going to come in and he's going to translate to the game. So there was a little time where he was a little bit rusty, which is understandable, but this is why you guys, I sometimes am on the fence. I'm not going to lie. That is where I'm on the fence, but I see why you guys keep saying, keep Tyler.
Listen, man. Jordan Clarkson. If I'm Jordan Clarkson, I'm just like, man.
Now it's getting a little questionable.
Man. I'm going to keep going back to what I said before, man. Like, is he going to be okay if he's playing the bench? Because now Deuce is back. All these guys are back. Now Jordan Clarkson is playing behind Shamet and Tyler Koleck. Because the only time Jordan Clarkson got in the game is when Shamet got injured for a second. And because he I think he looked like he pulled a groin for like a second.
Oh, I thought it was a shoulder.
And then he came in the game, played 6 minutes, and sat right back down on the bench. So I am keeping my eye on that. Maybe he's like okay with it. I'm gonna stay for the championship. Maybe he does, but that is.
I mean, he gets a ring either way. So him and Yabu, y'all get a ring either way. Don't worry about it.
Yo, what's up with Yabu Selly doing up and unders now? What?
that layup was wicked. I was like, you drove to the basket, it went up and under. I was like, what? I was like, Yabu Selly, you have that in the bag? Say word.
like, bro. 45 games later, now you got a post. Now you got a post up game.
Falling, man. I'm gonna do something.
He had a post up game and an up and under game 45. Like, what the hell? Okay. He's like raising my trade value, bro. Get the.
But I will say this about Clarkson right quick though. It's understandable that he's on the bench because he's not going to get playing time over Shamet or Deuce. Shamet or Deuce plays defense, and Mike Brown's a defensive coach, so he's not going to get playing time over those guys. And I can see why the coach probably favors Koleck over Clarkson as well, because we discussed it in earlier podcasts. Sometimes Clarkson goes outside of the offense to get his shots off and get his baskets. Whereas Koleck plays within the offense and he moves the ball around and gets guys open shots. So when you look at it, it's like, do you rather the guy that's going to just chuck shots at will sometimes and sometimes not within the flow of the offense? Or are you going to go with the guy that is going to play within the offense and move the ball around and find open shots for other people? You're going to go with the guy that's going to move the ball around and get open shots for other people and play within the offense.
Yeah, exactly. And if you can't table set, it gets even harder. I feel like even around the NBA in general, I feel like the small bucket getter guard who's a liability defensively, like the backup bucket getters, I feel like they're like starting to be phased out a little bit. I don't know. So it's like,
yes,
I feel like teams are starting to like not, look at Malik Monk too. Like I feel like it's like if you can't play within the flow of an offense and defend a little, like we don't want you here. So he has to step up his defense to play in the NBA or extend his career right now. It can't just be about getting buckets.
Great take, Jay. I agree 100%. That's across the NBA. You're seeing that.
Yeah, but now for sure. So I wonder what's going to happen with Jordan Clarkson. I always felt like his trade value might not be low still. I feel like he might have showed enough to be like at least neutral. If he wants to leave or stay, but I'm curious to see what happens to Jordan Clarkson before he trade that line.
I still believe one of our takes that we had on the show, believe it came from Lee, were that he will come through big in the playoffs, which is why I'm okay with keeping him. You still need offense. I know defense is very important. It's extremely important. But if, again, you're going to have guys like OG, Mikal, Mitch, Shamet, Miles, that's a lot of defensive people on your team that sometimes you might need someone to come off the bench and explode. So I'm okay if he does stick around. I could see where he gets splashed in a trade to with Yabu or somebody like that, or even we'll talk about that trade later on. We got to splash him in to get somebody else. I can see him, adding that nice little appeal to it, but I would keep him. I wouldn't trade him solo one-on-one for someone for the sole fact that I do think that he can still come through in a big playoff game because he has helped us in big games that people seem to forget. He helped us in the Cup. He helped us on Christmas Day simply by coming off the bench and exploding. And I think guys like him, they're going to go through slumps because, again, that's his career. He's not playing minutes. He's up and down. His rotation minutes are up and down. And he's a guy that has to get into rhythm that you're right. He doesn't, if he's not getting his touches, he's going to play off target, off the map, do whatever he has to do to get his game going. And right now we don't need that, which is why I see he's benched. But I think that when he gets back into the flow, he will explode for us again, and we will need that later in the playoffs.
KOT family in the chat, there's been some excellent takes on this episode. Just want to give some flowers before we start arguing over the Giannis trade. I want to keep the positivity going. I have to say, I think that Ryan and B have really been cooking this episode, and I want to give them some props. Great take, y'all.
Cool. Right before I disagree. Yo, I think that's the thing about what makes this interesting though, because Shamet is giving you offense, and Shamet is giving you the 3-point shooting, and then even if he's not shooting well, he still gives you defense. Mm-hmm. So it's like there's less pressure for him to play perfectly. So like that's why I feel like, and Shamet also has the reputation of playing well in the playoffs as well. Yep. So so I don't think so. It's, I mean, maybe he will. Maybe Jordan Clarkson will show up in the playoffs, but it's like I've seen Deuce and Shamet perform well in the playoffs and hit threes and play defense. So it's like I don't know if it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to get minutes over them outside of injury or foul trouble or something. Sure. I'm not sure.
I think Gamer Channel hit the nail on the head with this comment here that I think Clarkson is saying he will be key after the trades, and B kind of alluded this to her in her monologue as well. If there is something big that happens, and it doesn't have to be Giannis, let's say Cat is traded for any type of combination of defensive players, and two of those players get into the starting lineup, right? Whether it's Suggs and Wendell Carter or a situation where we got Drew Holiday and Giannis, Clarkson actually becomes more valuable because now you don't have to hide him as much. He's playing with some of the best defenders in the entire NBA, guys who lead the NBA in defensive net rating. The four guys I just named, like those are all elite defenders. Even Drew Holiday's still in a role player situation. So Clarkson could really be the two, not to be the three or be the one. He can be the two and come in a 10, 15-minute sample size, especially in the playoffs, and still ball out.
You know what? This is a good segue to the news that's coming out today. All right, because we've been talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo coming to the Knicks for all year. Shams came out today and said that that the Milwaukee Bucks are starting to listen to aggressive offers on 2021 Finals MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is prepared for a new home at the trade deadline or in the offseason. So it's like, things that make you go, Like, it's funny because the Bucks have been playing coy all this time. We're not trading them. We're not interested for that to come out. It was interesting. But then our guy Ian Begley came out and said, yes, Knicks will be among teams making aggressive offers for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Miami Heat will be there as well. So it makes things even a little extra spicy. Combine that with Lee saying for a while now that he's been hearing tea leaves about Giannis possibly coming to the Knicks and being traded by the trade deadline. I think he said it like a couple of months ago. Mm-hmm. It's starting to heat up. But the thing is, competition, man, is not just the Knicks who's out for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah, it's other teams who have other assets, who have more first-round picks. So I'm not sure exactly how likely this thing is to happen, but we can get into the deep dive of how likely or unlikely or what can go wrong or right. I'll toss it to Lee since you already had this kind of conversation a little bit.
Real quick, I did want to go to the gamer real quick about Cat because I see people keep talking about Cat. Cat has 0 fouls today, and I do want to give a little bit of flowers when we can give them because it's rare that we can give him any type of flowers. If we do, they're probably dead. So I do want to give Cat. He had 0 fouls today. His offensive game was terrible, but this is something that we've been arguing. He has to stay out of foul trouble to stay on the court. And even though he was taken off the court sometimes, but he played 35 minutes today and had 22 boards, only turned the ball over 2 times. And aside from the offense, I was actually very proud of him. So I just wanted to just give that quick little that little flower to him because I didn't give him a bouquet, just a little flower because
Right.
just bro, just one game at a time. This is a nice game for you to just stay out of foul trouble, stay on the court because we do need you. We were down Mitch when then Hawk Porty got into foul trouble. We were looking at Yabusele at some point to play center. We need you on the court, bro. So whether you're doing this or that or this, the most importantly, just stick to your strengths, and your strength is rebounding. So I know a lot of people like to make fun of that's all he can do. I don't know many players who go out and get 22 boards. Like that was very nice of him to do, and then 0 fouls today. So shout out to Towns.
Yeah, I do want to throw in this about Cat as well because, well, first and foremost, big up Cat with the fact that he's leading the league in rebounding per game at the moment. He just took the lead there, so you have to big up Cat for that. You know, Cat at least is grabbing boards as a big man, so at least he's doing a job from that standpoint. But although he had a bad offensive game, and I'm telling you, the Raptors were roughing him up. Like there were a couple times in the second quarter where I saw him just missing easy shots in the paint because they were challenging him, they were blocking his shots, and I was just like, God damn, the Raptors ain't giving this guy no type of space whatsoever. But despite the fact that he had a bad offensive game, what I liked about Cat's game tonight is the fact that. And I think this goes for all of us. Like, all we want sometimes for Cat to just show effort in other areas besides the offensive game. And that's what he did tonight. Like, okay, you didn't have the offensive game tonight? That's fine. What else can he do to help the team win? And he was a monster on the boards. And I think defensively he wasn't that bad as well. Like, I think he held his end of the bargain except for like the first few minutes of the game. I think he was all right defensively, and rebounding, he really dominated the boards, and you have to give him his props for that, although he had a bad offensive game.
Karl-Anthony Towns has been asked this season, has been extremely underwhelming. I want him traded definitely before the trade deadline, if at the latest in the summer. I think he's got to go. But tonight, I don't really blame him. I don't think it was all his fault. I actually place a lot of his blame on Mike Brown. Why the hell aren't we running our offense through him? Because I tweeted this yesterday. Our offense looks the best when it's run through him. When Brunson is primarily off ball and Cat has been that initiator, stationary passer at the elbow, that's when the offense looks its best because of his height and his wingspan. He's able to find cutters in better than anyone else just because of the physical advantages that his size provides. Pause. But tonight we barely ran the offense through him. There was a little bit of a grace period in that first quarter. We ran a few plays with him. I think he got one touch in the post, and then we went completely away with it by the middle of the second at halftime. I don't understand the inconsistency of using him as a hub, as a decoy. You try to play 5 out. You have him with 4 other shooters, but none of the shooters are really ball handlers. What do you expect to happen when you're not giving him the tools and the spacing to share the floor? Right, he should always be with you with Tyler Koleck or Landry Shamet, sharing the floor with them. Like, why is he out there with guys that can shoot but can't actually attack a closeout? It really limits your ability to go north and south, and it keeps you moving lateral in terms of the offense. And also, he plays his best game, in my opinion, with Tyler Koleck. I mean, the chemistry with him and Koleck is infinitely better than him and Brunson. Why is that? That's a question that only Cat and Brunson can answer. And it's also Mike Brown's responsibility to make him more efficient. And he really hasn't. And I put that on Brown. I thought Cat and Brunson didn't look good under Tibbs, but it looked a lot better under Tibbs than it does under Mike Brown right now, too. So there's a lot that can be worked on. I think the responsibility is shared. Tonight, I think Cat's rebounding numbers showed he was giving effort. He was trying, even though Mike Brown, I think, has not used him properly in this Knicks offense.
Yeah, I kind of feel like overall, even though there's like a little slump with OG and McCall, I feel like McCall and OG had a better shot or better. I feel like they had more looks and more flow in the offense than the Cat this season. I feel like they, at least when we were really winning before the losing streak, like their numbers were up, and then before the losing streak happened, the Cat's numbers were down. So I think that's really where I feel like the offense has benefited everybody else but Cat.
But yeah, let's get into Giannis then.
yeah, but yeah, Cat. Shout out to Cat though. Had 16 boards at halftime.
Yeah,
which is the only player in the NBA to do that.
Yeah,
and like you guys said, man, stood up defensively this game. And we especially needed it because we didn't have Mitch. So if we didn't have any center to stand defensively today, we would have been screwed. But we had Cat doing pretty good defensively with Wingstop.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cat. All right. Now let's get back to it, man. Let's get back to it.
Pardon me.
This is all good, all good. We did not talk about Cat, and he needs to be talked about. So, like I was saying today, huge news on the trade front. After Giannis Antetokounmpo rumors have been swirling around the Knicks for a while, Shams Garcia strictly came out and said today that the Milwaukee Bucks are starting to listen to aggressive offers on 2021 Finals MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is prepared for a new home at the trade deadline or in the offseason. Then Ian Bagley followed that up with, yes, Knicks will be among the teams making aggressive offers to the Milwaukee Bucks for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Miami Heat will be there as well. And couple that with Lee Escobedo, who's been kind of is hinting that for the last few months, that he's been hearing in the streets that Giannis Antetokounmpo could possibly move the trade deadline to the Knicks. It all seems like it's coming to head right now. But here's the thing. The Knicks aren't the only team trading for Giannis Antetokounmpo. There are other teams that will be involved, including the Miami Heat. All right, so I want to toss this to Lee. I know you talked about this a little bit earlier. What are your thoughts on the possible Giannis Antetokounmpo trade to the Knicks?
Back in June, I was told that whether we won the championship or not this upcoming season, that there was going to be a seismic trade for Giannis in the summer. It could potentially happen in the middle of the season, but the Knicks were really hoping it would happen in the summer so they could use those 2 picks that would become available, opposed to having to add more players into the deal. They wanted to keep the rotation as it was. And I heard that, and I'm not an aggregator, so I hinted at it. We talked about it on the show, but it wasn't something that I made a mission of mine or part of my podcast identity to start talking about that, because I wanted to see what this team could do. I thought we could win a championship. But as I have said many times now in the last couple of weeks, my eye test is telling me this team cannot win a championship with Towns and Brunson both starting. So to me, you pull this trigger right now. You make this deal. You put the sweeteners in the pot, whatever it takes to bring a top 5 player in the NBA currently and a potential top 10 player of all time, someone who has proven he can win a championship already with no other all-star around him, no other superstar around him. Drew Holiday, yes, he was an all-star like once in New Orleans, I think, and Chris Middleton, who is now completely washed. He rose the ceiling and the floor of everyone that played alongside him. He's a winner, he's a competitor, and he's an elite defender. All things that this Knicks team really needs, and it sometimes lacks. I also love the fact that Jalen Brunson would now be the best second option in the NBA and a top 5 second option of the 21st century. I would put Kobe, Curry, depending on how you see Golden State, Dwayne Wade above him. After that, Brunson would be the number 2 second option. That's to Giannis. Yes, Giannis would be the first option. Damn it, he's a better player. I don't think any of us would argue that, even at age 31. So you make this move. It makes you better defensively. It fixes every single issue that you have on this team, with the exception of his stretch 5, which you don't find that, right? Make the move for Giannis and then figure the rest out. And the rest is only one position you really need to make things work. But I love the idea of no longer being compromised at any position on defense, that we can really hide Brunson, not just hide him, but play him with any other combination on the floor and not have to be turnstile on the defensive end, because as Raw Hebrew always says, no defense, no bueno. And he's absolutely right. Defense wins championships. Giannis is a top 3 defender in the NBA. Go get that guy.
What do you think, MB?
That's why we love this channel, right? Because we don't always agree.
No, I looked at your face. I looked at your face. I already knew who I was going to next.
I like when my guys show up because it makes me be able to debate with Flea. When they're not showing up, I can't debate with Flea because I'm like, bro, they trash. Trade them. But no, I'm not with it because I asked the question the other day because I just was generally wanted to know. It wasn't because I generally wanted to know when has a mid-season trade worked and led to a championship. And there wasn't any besides Rasheed Wallace back in 2004. And I don't see where we're getting a Rasheed Wallace besides Giannis. Giannis is way better than Rasheed Wallace. Obviously, that would come in. But the thing is, what are you sending out? I don't remember what Detroit sent out to get Rasheed. I don't think they still kept Tyshawn. They still kept Billups. They still kept Rip Hamilton. You guys are asking to take our Rip Hamilton, our Prince, and our you guys are asking to take those things. So that's where I always am a little bit deflected. And I was kept saying, if we are going to trade these guys, let them up their value. And right now they're up in their value. And whatever happens in the offseason happens. I'm not big on just making a trade in the middle, and what has helped me too with believing in that is the injuries. Right now we're not 100% sure where Giannis is going to be in 3 to 4 weeks. He could come back. It doesn't seem like he's going to be out, but then again, what if he re-injures again? It's going to put us in a position where we're now waiting for him to get healthy again, and we don't have to worry about that right now with anybody playing on our team. We already kind of dealt with our big injuries early on, and praying that we don't deal with them again later on this season. So that's why, again, I've just been flippy floppy on it. I'm not against Giannis, though. I do want to continuously make that clear. I would love Giannis on my team. It's no debate that you don't go after him. It's just the timing. I think timing in anything in life is very, very important. And to me, the timing sucks with the injuries and the packages that are being presented. I just don't see. I did see something, we talked about it before the show started, where it was 10 picks, Towns, Datic, and Miles. That I would jump on board easily, because you do still keep Mikal, OG, Brunson, and Giannis. Give us the ring now. But again, nothing in life is guaranteed besides anything that Jesus Christ presents to you. So I don't know where. I'm just not big on blowing up the team mid-season for someone that we're not 100% sure on his health. If Giannis was healthy and we were trying to keep OG, Mikal, and Brunson, I'm okay with this. Someone asked who's my off limits. Being unbiased, my off limits is only Brunson and Mitch. I'm not trading Brunson and Mitch at this point. If Mikal has to go in the offseason, he has to go. No debate about it. If Towns has to go, he could go. If Towns without using Mikal and OG, I'm going for it. So if they giving those 10 picks, I was a little flippy floppy, but you guys did convince me. If you guys did trade the 10 picks and just Miles, Cat, and Datic, I'm taking that easily, because again, you do keep your main core. But that was my biggest thing. I kept seeing trades where you're breaking up the core for someone mid-season, and I just want us to keep pushing towards, because I do understand Lee with Brunson and Towns being defensive liabilities, which now people don't see. Hey, baby, which then we now don't see the contention. But to me, I haven't lost hope on us winning an NBA championship. I still believe that we can get out the East. I don't know fully healthy who can beat us in 7 games. We have proven that a lot of times throughout the season, where we went through some tough times and we bounced back. So my only thing with Giannis again is just the injuries and breaking up the core. If it does regard those things, I'm not with it mid-season. That's my take on it, and I'm going to stick to that.
And one clarification for those watching, the 10 picks that she's talking about are second round picks, just for
Second round, yes.
Right, second round picks. And so for people who's like, we have 10 second round picks, we have 8 second round picks. But our Washington first round picks will most likely be converted into 2 seconds. Because there are protections on the Washington pick, which is where we get the 10 second round picks.
Mommy?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ryan G, man, what are your thoughts?
Oh boy. All right, so I'll start off by saying this. I am for the Knicks getting Giannis, although preferably I would want to get him over the summer rather than mid-season. Just for the simple fact, I'm concerned about the calf injury. So I would like to see how that plays out for the rest of the season and see if he can come back healthy, if he's able to play the rest of the season, or does he re-injure it? Like, I want to see where that calf is for the most part. So that's why I would want to wait till the summer to see his health and make the trade then if possible. And also over the summer, the Knicks will have more draft capital to trade as well. Right now, the Knicks don't have a lot of draft capital, which means I think if the Knicks are to get Giannis, they have to include a third team in the deal, and a team that's willing to give up some type of draft capital to go to the Bucks. But then that means that in order for that team to give up the draft capital, the Knicks have to give that team a solid piece for them to give up that draft capital. So that means that you're kind of gutting the core a bit more with a midseason trade. So I would like Giannis here because I think Giannis does solve a lot of issues defensively, especially if Cat goes the other way. But at the same time, I don't want that to be a midseason trade, but I get it. If you really want Giannis on the team and other teams are putting out aggressive offers to get Giannis right now, then you have no choice but to push that button and be like, you know what, to prevent these other teams from getting Giannis, we have to get it right now in the we gotta get it right now mid-season trade. But preferably, I would want it done in the summer. And another concern of mine is the Knicks don't really have the best package to offer at the moment either. There's other teams out there with stronger packages, and I feel like the only way the Knicks even get Giannis is if Giannis does a solid for the Knicks and be like, you know what, I want to go to the Knicks and the Knicks only.
Yeah.
Where it's gonna force the Bucks' hand to be like, well, he doesn't want it because I feel like the Bucks are gonna do right by Giannis because Giannis did bring a championship to the Bucks. He won an MVP with the Bucks. I think he also won a Defensive Player of the Year with the Bucks as well. So he's won awards with this team and brought them a championship. So I think the Bucks would do right by him and send him to his preferred destination. But I feel like the only way that happens is if Giannis outright says, I want to go to the Knicks, and that's it. I feel like if Giannis opens up his options, I feel like the Knicks have no chance because other teams out there can offer better packages than the Knicks right now.
Yeah, agreed, man.
That's my other point to it, Ryan. I always felt that Giannis really wants to play for the Knicks. So if we want him, we'll get him, and that's why I'm thinking we should wait. But it's hard to wait if he is indicating that he would, if the Knicks aren't going to get me now, because it seems like he wants to leave Milwaukee now. Before it was he was on the fence, or I'm not sure, because again, we haven't heard him flat out say out his mouth. I'm sure behind the scenes, which is why the sources are coming out, but we haven't heard it as fans and as NBA watchers, him say it. Every time he does an interview, he's kind of either deflecting or he's kind of insinuating, but he's not flat out. So it's hard for us to understand, but it's clear that he's telling Milwaukee something else. And if the Knicks are one of the teams that's being mentioned, I believe that's because Giannis is saying that. So to me, I think if we really want him, we will be able to obtain him. And I think that's where he wants to end up. I think this is where he feels he can win another championship. The other teams, I think they do. Ali was saying to me, their rosters with Giannis too would be just as admirable as ours. But I think, would you rather play with Jalen Brunson or would you rather play with those other guys? That no other team would be able to keep their Jalen Brunson and then obtain Giannis. They would have to get rid of one of their top players in order to obtain that. So that's where I'm still with it. I think that if we want Giannis, we're going to get Giannis, which is why we be patient.
Funny enough, I heard like a wrinkle on the putback. Shout out to Ian Begley on the putback that talked about the timing of it. And he was saying that a pro. Now I don't think it was Ian. It was I forgot the guy's name who was on the putback, but he's like a cap guy. He said one of the pros of the Knicks getting Giannis before the deadline is they will be more likely to be able to keep Mitch. And I was like, I thought that was interesting wrinkle. I don't know why that is because I'm not a cat expert, but that was an interesting wrinkle.
It is no surprise that the Knicks have been linked in the last month to New Orleans, right? And they say we linked to New Orleans for the possibility of Yves Missy or Jose Alvarado. Okay. There's also no surprise that it's leaked for Yahoo Sports that the Portland Trailblazers have been interested in Mikal Bridges for a couple of years, going back to his stint in Phoenix. Okay. No surprise there too, because those are the two teams that own picks from the Milwaukee Bucks. So integrating those two teams as a third party allows Mikal to go to either one of them, and then a portion of that Milwaukee pitch goes back to Milwaukee, because Milwaukee owning their own pits in the future is 10 times more important and 10 times better than them owning any other team's pits, because they now control their destiny and their tanking actually pays off for them, opposed to them tanking, winning, losing, not getting nothing out of it because it goes somewhere else, and then trying to hope that some other team they own the pitch capital for lose and they get their pick. Screw that. You want to control your own destiny. So us having some of that capital is even better than us having our own picks. So that's where I think the Knicks really have an advantage. And I agree with Sherman. If you have the opportunity, you pull that damn trigger. This is not Paul George. It's not even Melo. This is a player who's already won a chip somewhere else in the podunks of Milwaukee. Imagine him in Madison Square Garden playing as the big body Brunson. That will be his legacy. Not the first chip in 40 whatever years it was for the Bucks. His legacy will be the greatest New York Knick to ever play in Madison Square Garden. as the guy who brought us a championship with Jalen Brunson. So to me, you got to make this move. Calf strain, be damned. We got Casey Smith. I have full trust in him. We have Brock Aller. I have full trust in him. He may date any cap issues and move behind the scenes to make sure that nothing limits us in the future to remain flexible.
I mean, I do agree with the medical staff thing because OG has been coming right back after.
And Mitch. And Mitch.
And Mitch, yeah. Jalen Brunson too. There, so yeah.
Yep, good points. And Shamit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Shamit. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Who are the teams who have the most competition for us? I know I kind of read that the Miami Heat has 2 first-round picks, but you guys know who else is in the competition race?
I do.
Yeah, Brian Windhorst says the Warriors have the best package, so the Warriors are in there as well.
Yeah, Golden State, Toronto, Portland, Orlando, Miami, and New York.
Damn, Orlando with Giannis would be. I would cry. That's the team.
When I hear those teams, why the heck do Giannis want to play there? But again, who knows?
That's the team. I know.
Orlando?
I know. Lisa. No,
he would
Lisa
definitely be the man in Orlando. They never won anything.
Their shooting would still be bad, but their defense is already crazy. Adding him was nuts.
I think the biggest threat would be Miami, but again, I don't know if Lear could confirm this source, but I saw that he's not a fan of Pat Riley, supposedly. A lot of rumors, but someone said Giannis doesn't like Pat Riley.
Yeah, I saw that rumor too. It's hard to put full stock in that. I can't remember who reported that. It was someone with a little bit of clout. So I can't remember. But I do think that New York definitely presents the best legacy move for him. Okay, you bring Orlando their first championship. Cool, definitely. Right? That's cool, but it's not the Knicks. And again, listen, Jabroni, I'm not disrespecting Clyde Walt-Frazier. Clyde Walt-Frazier was already on the top 50 players of all time. But I'm sorry, brother. Giannis is better. He's pure point blank is a better player. And we'll go down in history as a better player than Clyde Frazier. No disrespect to Clyde, but Giannis will be the best, especially if we win a championship now in the James Dolan era after everything we've all suffered. Yeah, it's a greatest hero journey in NBA history if the Knicks win a championship behind Brunson or Giannis, but especially both.
It's kind of hard for me to pair that era and Walt Clyde Frazier, especially I didn't really see Walt Clyde Frazier play. I can't even. It's hard for me to even argue that because I didn't really see. I seen clips. You know what I'm saying? So I
and they were in black and white.
Exactly. Yeah. So I can't even argue. I just know dude got a ring. And he was a 2-way player.
2 of them, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Clyde,
my bad.
Yeah, and Clyde did put up some crazy numbers in the finals as well. We know that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Willis Reed was still Finals MVP both times, though. Don't forget.
Yeah,
I feel you. But point remains, I wasn't even born yet, so it's hard for me to argue. It's hard for me to argue that.
Yeah,
I have a quick question though. Do you feel someone can be the best of the things that they've done throughout their career or what they've done for the organization?
For the organization, it's damn near impossible for anyone to surpass both Clyde and Ewing because they just and Richie Duran, shout out. Those guys just dominate the stats and the legacy, right? And Clyde has those 2 rings that he has. But I think it's a hero story, the journey, right? The myth behind Giannis coming to New York and pairing with Brunson and taking the team out of gutter and winning their first championship in over 50 years. That to me would be a historic LeBron in 2016 level championship. No doubt. I think it would be a top 3 championship of all time in NBA history. That's how bad we've been.
Yeah, it's and to me it all depends on what the price is. I'll keep going back to the price. If it's like what we were saying before, where it's you giving all of our second round picks plus Cat and Deuce, I'm going to do that in a heartbeat, and I'm not even going to think twice about it.
Yeah,
that just seems insane and unreasonable.
To answer the question again, Gamer, I apologize. I stated Mitch and Jalen Brunson right now. Business wise, I'm not trading Mitch for anybody. I'm not adding Brunson to anybody. OG is a little bit there for me, but if OG meant Giannis, I'm sorry. Like, there's some people that, hey, it depends who they're matching up with other people. Of course, if they're saying OG and Cat, no. Like, I think we could put someone else in there for him to get it. But Mitch and Jalen, I don't care who you package them with. No, thank you.
And I just want a team that's gonna be able to play with him. That's what I always say, because we're like it really depends on the leverage of Giannis and what they're willing to accept to make him go to a destination. Because the real price of Giannis, I said this before, I said this months ago. We traded 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, 5. So realistically, you trading for an MVP. You're not just thinking salary. You're thinking I need it at least. You probably, if I'm the Bucks, you got 5 from Mikal, give me 6. Like that's what I'm thinking as a team who's trying to rebuild. So when I think about that, I'm thinking what starters are going to give me multiple picks, and then when you start to do that, that's when you start to empty your team in a trade to get picks back to get the amount that he actually costs. But I feel like that cost is too high, which is why I feel like a lot of this just depends on if Giannis forces his way here, so we can actually keep our core and not like trade Mikal, who might get us a couple of picks, then OG might give us a couple of picks, and then like, you know what I'm saying? Because we have 0 picks, 0. So that's really what it is to me. It's not that okay, Giannis, cool. It's like how many players do we have to give up to get to that 4 first round, 5 first round pick range where if they accept that to say okay. And yeah,
that's why I think the Bridges piece is so important. I think Bridges has to go. Cat is a salary that satisfies a salary for Giannis almost dollar to dollar, and he goes to Milwaukee. But in order for the pick haul to be sent to the Bucks, that's where Bridges and probably a combination of Koleck and Deuce go to Portland. And now Portland doesn't necessarily have to give up all their own picks. They're giving up those Bucks picks, which again allows Milwaukee to control their destiny. Those picks are more important than anything Milwaukee can offer or anything Toronto can offer, because now Milwaukee has their own assets in their hand to rebuild however they want. And that is absolutely crucial. And that, I think, is why Bridges and probably Deuce would have to go as well.
Yeah, and I just want to answer Gamer Channel question. For me, my untouchable players I'm pretty much in agreement with B. Jalen Brunson stays, Mitchell Robinson stays. OG stays for me as well, because I feel like he's essential to the Knicks defense.
I'm about to say
and lesser Deuce, like that would be a luxury for me. Like I would love to keep Deuce as well, but if Deuce is included in a Giannis trade, I'm not complaining about that. So
yeah, my thing is if Deuce is going, can we keep Shamet, please? If Shamet is going, can we keep Deuce? If Deuce is going, can we keep Shamet? That's the way I.
Can someone verify to me how old Giannis is?
I believe he's 31.
31, yeah, I believe so.
But
I'm just curious. It was not again. I didn't remember how old he was.
Yeah, he just turned 31 in December.
Okay.
Whew. All right, cool, man. This is gonna be a crazy trade deadline, man. I was talking about, man, this is gonna be one of the biggest off seasons of the summer for the Knicks, with the hype of the KD Kyrie thing. Come to find out, it might be a trade deadline, so we'll see what happens. Any final thoughts before we go to bro picks and close this out?
Yes, I have one final thought.
Go ahead. Sorry.
If the Knicks are not able to pull off this trade because of lack of picks, I'm gonna have to give Leon Rose the stern eye.
Hey, cut him off. Cut his mic off.
The Jamaican eye, because I'm like, you gave up 5 first round picks for Dan Mikal Bridges. I mean, come on now. If you had at least had 2 more of those picks stayed with us and gave away like just only like 3 or 2 first round picks, you would have more picks at your why can't I say the damn word? But you know what I'm trying to say, at his disposal to including the Giannis trade. So anyhow, the Knicks don't get this trade because they don't have the draft capital to do so. I'm giving Leon Rose the Jamaican eye, not even the stern eye, the Jamaican eye.
Okay.
To my content too with Mitch, I know he can be touch Fritz, but my thing is this run. I think that we still, especially if we trade for Giannis, we can win a championship if we keep OG, Jalen Brunson, healthy Giannis. Yes, I think that the East is most definitely ours, and you need Mitch in order to do that. Mitch's impact is truly needed in the playoffs for us to win anything. That's why I think if we're going to keep Mitch, we keep him while we can, and whatever happens after, we'll talk about it after.
Jay, also wanted to make sure you saw this because Jamer's channel wanted to know who your untouchable players were. I'll let you read that while I did my final thoughts on the Giannis.
Oh, Brunson, OG, Mitch, and like I said, if we trading Deuce, keep Shaman. If you're trading Shaman, keep Deuce.
That's right, Jabroni. That's right. He's gonna get 5 rounds tonight. 5 rounds.
Hey,
Oh, Bridge is gonna be taking it harder to pay tonight.
I meant 5-round picks, guys. It's
stamina. Okay.
The Iron Man. He is the Iron Man.
Hey, they don't call him that for
more ways than one. All right.
My final thoughts on Giannis, and this is based on conversations I had. I'm gonna say this: Leon always hits his man. Leon has always coveted OG Anunoby before he got him, Karl-Anthony Towns before he got him, Mikal Bridges before he got him. Those are 3 guys that were on their whiteboard for guys they absolutely wanted to add alongside Jalen Brunson, and eventually they got him. As it was reported, conversations for Karl-Anthony Towns, they were like 2-3 seasons in. They had been talking to Minnesota about what it would take to get him. OG Anunoby, almost 2 seasons of conversations, really wanted him. And eventually they got him. Giannis is at the top of their list of who they want to pair next to Jalen Brunson. They feel like that's the ultimate co-star. So this is why I was told it don't matter if we win a championship. Think about that. It doesn't matter if we win a championship. They're still going to trade for Giannis. That means short-term, long-term legacy, they see him as Brunson as the best 1-2 possible combination. They see that as championship. And I'll be honest, I do too.
You know, it's funny. For my own selfish reasons, even if we get Giannis here eventually, I would like to see Brunson win a chip before and after. Just because of the 1A debate. Just because of the 1A debate, I feel like it'll be so much sweeter if you want to chip with Brunson being the guy.
That's why, Leah, again, I feel it that with Ryan, where he has to say Knicks only, and we can get him in the offseason, he has to say it. He has to say Knicks only. He has to say it.
Yeah, I think the trouble here is that they don't currently have someone on their roster that's an inside man that they have in other situations, right? Like Brock Hauer has played his part. Gerson Rosas was brought in to play his part. Those guys, I mean, Brock Hauer has led negotiations. He was the point person. So has Rosas. Rosas has led negotiations. They have made trades executed. I don't know who we have that's in Giannis's camp. Maybe this is the reason why you see Rich Paul coming out of nowhere saying he wants to help talk to Giannis because he helped squash beef with Leon, and he knows that vaults him past Leon if this happens. Honestly, this puts him into legacy territory for agents in the NBA. So I don't know who we have that can be a backdoor channeler. Maybe it's someone like Worldwide West, right? Maybe this is where he starts using his contacts.
Shout out to Worldwide West
connections to make this happen. All I know is that this is why Ian said aggressive. They are going to go all out. So, appreciate your favorite player while you have him and he's still on the Knicks, unless it's Jalen Brunson, because he ain't going nowhere.
Famous last
I
word.
appreciate you, Mikal.
now I get right in the love letter. He still might be here. We'll see. Or not, maybe. Or not.
I'm staying.
Or not. All right. You're going to block the door, right? Contact Adam Silver yourself. Block the trade.
If I can if I'm David Stern, come back real quick. We need you real quick.
Oh man. All right, yo. Great show, guys. Do you want to talk about the bro picks now before we close out?
Yes. I have a few bro picks. There was a couple of bro picks from this game too. The first one being Shed, because there was a play in this game and I'm like, yo, this guy. So there was a play in the game where he was able to draw an offensive foul on Mikal Bridges, and Mikal Bridges barely even touched the dude. Like Mikal Bridges basically Mikal Bridges didn't even touch the guy. Like Mikal just basically like lightly ran into him, and this dude flopped like as if he got like bulldozed or something. First of all, that's a broad pick right there because I mean that flop was egregious, and the refs fell for it.
Yeah, that was annoying.
My next broad pick goes to the Raptors bench because when Josh Hart hit that big three, that big corner three, late in the fourth quarter and got fouled, and they called a flagrant foul on, I forgot the Raptors defender who was guarding him. Josh Hart turned to the bench and started, letting it rain pause on the bench with the gun symbols, and then they threw a towel at his face because they're sore losers over there. So that's another broad pick.
I heard they were talking a lot of trash over there. So that's probably why Josh Hart was so extra and kind of motivated to kind of turn up the defense. But go ahead.
Exactly. My next broad pick goes to Wemby because in the Rockets and the Spurs game, Sengun put Wemby in a blender and made that man touch earth. And Sengun went around him and scored the basket.
That's the Uber.
And my last broad pick goes to Mazzulla for acting a straight fool in the Celtics and Hawks game where Sam Cassell had to hold him back, and then while holding him back, Sam Cassell fell to the ground, and Mazzulla was still trying to get at these refs. So I gotta give Mazzulla a broad pick. You was wilding, my guy.
Not quite the Jeff Van Gundy moment, but all right. Anybody else?
I don't have a bruh or a new pick, but Fritz just dropped in our group chat a tweet by Chris Haynes, who reported this live on the NBA Association. I believe that's Prime TV's halftime or post-game show. And they're saying that this is Chris Haynes reporting this, that Boston Celtics star Jason Tatum, who's recovering from an Achilles injury, is reevaluating his situation and is now considering sitting out the entire 2025 to 2026 season. Bound decision has yet to be determined. If you think about that in the context of Giannis, that now eliminates the Boston Celtics as a contender. If he was to come back and give them 70% and they're already a top 3 seed or a top 3 seed, that makes them very competitive. But with him sitting out, that pathway to the finals just became wide open. You really only have Detroit Pistons and Cade Cunningham ahead of you, which really adds extra ammo to the Knicks going after Giannis and getting this thing done.
I don't think I took Jason Tatum coming back seriously anyway. Like, I know he was doing all the off court stuff, but it was like, to me, that was always a long shot.
I mean, he's their future. I mean, he's their current and their future. I wouldn't risk just coming back half a season to prove anything. He doesn't need to prove anything. They already have a championship. He's one of the best players in the NBA. I think he should get healthy. It wasn't even, of course, as a Knicks fan, I don't like injuries to anybody, but if Jason Tatum's not the way you want that to happen, but a Knicks fan aside, like, he's a player that I would like to see for the next 10, 15 years. And if he rushes back, I wouldn't be happy for that because he can possibly re-injure himself.
I agree with that. But again, it's really just us in Detroit in the East now.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah,
Very true.
And I think with the Celtics too, I think with this kind of season that Jalen Brown is having as well, I think I would just ride that out. I wouldn't even try to rush Jason Tatum back and just ride out that season. And then when Jason Tatum comes back, then you figure it out how Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown's going to work. Because I feel like Jalen Brown upped his game so much this season because he's even in MVP talks, which is crazy. So, yeah, so I think after the season's over, then you reevaluate how Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown's going to work. But the way Jalen Brown's playing, I would let that ride out the whole season.
Yeah, especially they're already over-exceeding. Like, I didn't think to count them out fully because Joe Mazzulla is a great coach and they still have Jalen Brown. But I didn't think 3rd seed. I thought maybe playing or the bottom of the East.
Same.
3rd is diabolical. So, continue to over-exceed and ride it out. And looks like Jalen Brown's worth the contract. Cool. And then get Jason back next year.
Yeah, for real.
But I did have a block pick. And I actually tagged Ryan the other day. It's for Jamal Murray in that Laker game. He had 2 chances to tie the game.
Oh,
this is a guy who shoots 88% from the free throw line. He went 0 for 4. 0 for 4 from the free throw line and lost the game for the Denver Nuggets pretty much. And I thought that was crazy.
that was crazy. That definitely was crazy. Woo. All right, that was good, bro. That was good. Solid, bro. I just saw that video too. Definitely saw that.
He looked horrible. By the way, shout out to Quickly though. He did look horrible, but I didn't. He's on a list with Wilt Chamberlain and Shea. One of the only players to score 40 points, shoot, I believe, 80% from the field goal with 10 assists.
Mm-hmm.
That's a crazy list to be on. Not many people enter lists like that. So shout out to Quickly, but yes, he was horrible today.
Good. Shut him down, Brunson. That's what.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what was interesting today too? Like I meant to bring this up earlier, but Mikal Bridges said something interesting in his postgame interview. Because they was asking him like why he's able to play so well right now, and and he said, I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember exactly, but he said something like, taking responsibility and being coachable. That was interesting. Because you don't really hear about Mikal not being coachable or stuff like that, but that being coachable thing was interesting. It makes me think like what was being said in those meetings. What has he taken to heart? What is he approaching differently? Was he fighting the coach? It seems like maybe he was actually fighting the coach at certain points, because to say being coachable, that kind of stood out to me. I actually want to find that post-game interview again.
I don't think that Mikal could be uncoachable. I just think because he's a very vocal person who believes in himself, that he could sometimes go against what people refer to him, which we kind of probably seen sometimes, which is why we're like, bro, why you keep doing this and doing that? And he probably felt it could work. So I think today he realized sometimes I'm not always right. I could probably adjust. So maybe that, but I don't see a coachable as far as like him being bad locker room vibes or anything like that. So Bridges, he can. Y'all gotta stop for him, all right? Y'all already got 30 piece from Wingstop today, and enjoy it and relax, all right? But that is my last question. Do you guys believe that Giannis will be moved by the trade deadline? Do you guys believe that it's going to happen?
Yes.
And how many more days do we have left? I think it's like
February 5th.
February 5th.
Okay, right around the corner. All right. So
we'll see.
And yes, we will break. It will be breaking news. We will be on the podcast.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like I will if it happens early day, I will sacrifice my job to be on the podcast if that trade happens.
Word. He's gonna be bouncing around. Sorry, guys. Y'all gonna have to.
That's gonna be a historic pod.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll see. Can't wait.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what
we
happens.
Have next again? We have
the next game is
Friday against the Blazers.
Yeah, we have a lot of games coming up too.
Great game.
We have a lot of games coming up too. The
timing,
holy cow! The timing is crazy.
Yeah, I think it was very disrespectful to fly us to Toronto after playing in Madison Square Garden, but.
Yeah, the Knicks have to fly right back to the Garden afterwards.
I mean, the Knicks won back to back. That's incredible. And also, shout out again, you guys. I think it was Jay who.
Yes, Knicks. Yeah, sorry. Yep.
I like that Mike Brown expanded the rotation. That was the right thing to do. And that's the thing that we always said. Tibbs, why the hell aren't you playing more guys when it's back to back? And shout out to Mike Brown, who I've been very harsh on for actually doing that.
Yeah, I said that at the beginning. I said that at the beginning of the post game, and also like I know all the trade talk and stuff is happening. Like, I wonder if the defensive identity is really back for real. Like,
By the way, I saw that we're 16th. Where were we before the? Somebody said 15, but 19th? I think it's 16. But where were we before?
We're 19th.
19th. Yeah.
Okay, so we're moving up. Okay.
Yeah, so we moved up 3 spots in 4 games.
That's good.
Yeah. So
possibly get top 10 if we finish this before.
We'll see. We'll see who's here, who's not. If anything even happens,
come on now.
We'll see. But I'm curious, man. I'm curious. If it doesn't happen, I'm curious. If it happens, I'm curious. Right? If a trade doesn't happen, I have faith in this team. That we can possibly turn it around.
Yeah.
If it does happen, I kind of do feel like if it does happen, we would be a tough out. But I still feel like we'll be an incomplete team. So I'm not sure if I'm not sure if a championship will be in the cards this year if the trade happens this year, depending on what's going on.
I can't go another.
Depending on what's going out and in.
How would you guys feel if we made the finals but we failed and then we later get Giannis?
I think we have a better chance of winning the chip this year if we trade for Giannis than if we stay as is.
Like I don't know, like because one, it depends on who's going in, who's going out. Two, that stretch 5 next to Giannis is like premiumly important.
Yep, you're right.
So it's like if we trade for Giannis, cool. If it's Giannis and Mitch, I love Mitch. That is a very condensed offensive court. It's straight up bully ball. We're at that point, we're just saying we're gonna throw the ball up in the air and we're just gonna go get it. At that
No,
point.
Gamer, this team is not second round team. No.
Yeah, so like I feel like we'd be an unbalanced team if we don't get a stretch big and we don't have the pieces to complement. So I have to see what's going in and going out before I say we just got a championship in the bag.
I love you, Gamer, but you bugging.
That reminded me of something. I don't know what you guys' thoughts on this, but I did see somebody mention it. I forgot who on Twitter, but they were saying that if the Knicks go the route where they make a 3-team deal, they include the Blazers, return the Milwaukee picks back to the Bucks. They said that, in addition to getting Drew, there's a big on the Blazers. I think his name is Reith. That he's a cheap option.
Yeah, I like that.
He's a big that plays defense, can shoot the 3. And they were like, maybe the Knicks should consider bringing him along as well as a cheap replacement as that stretch 5, along with Drew Holiday and Giannis going to the Knicks. I don't know what y'all thoughts on that. I somebody mentioned it on Twitter, but I just can't recall who mentioned it, but I read the tweet.
He was somebody that I looked at his contract and he is very cheap. And if we could get him, I'd love him. Yeah.
You're not going to find a Brook Lopez or a Miles Turner, right? Which is what Giannis is used to. This is not. You have to find a placeholder, someone who at least spreads the floor, and then you close with either Giannis at the 5 or Mitchell Robinson next to him, and then you just kind of start the game, get into your actions with it. Actually, have a stretch 5 to open driving lanes for him to get downhill initially with someone who's on either a minimum deal or rookie scale contract or on their 3rd contract, someone they're maybe early mid-30s. That's probably the best you're going to do, unless all of a sudden Brook Lopez is bought out for some reason by the Clippers. Then things become very, very interesting. Or you try to add a Bobby Portis instead of a Drew Holiday in that 3-team trade. You try to bring him back. Again, he's not a real 5 either. So
yeah,
options are not clean.
Yeah.
Which is why I see why Prez asked is there a way we could get Cat, Giannis, and Brunson. I don't see how that can happen. If it is, though, that'd be cool, too. I'd love to keep Cat, with Giannis and Brunson, but I don't see how that can happen.
If you train for Giannis, I don't know.
This Gamer Channel statement here, this current roster is a 2nd-round team. That's an interesting statement. I understand why he feels that way. I don't think I agree with him. I think the only team that will give us real issues is Detroit.
Yeah.
I know we beat them last year, but they're better this year. But I still think we probably have an edge in that series because I don't trust JB Bickerstaff as a chess player in the coaching scenario. And they really only have Cade as the only real bucket getter. Everyone else depends so much on him and his gravity and playmaking. I think if we didn't get to the finals, you got to fire Brown because it's like, why the hell didn't you make it? It's wide open. Now this news with Jason Tatum, Boston's not going to be an issue. There's no way we should lose to Boston or Orlando or Philly. They would have. I mean, that's a major upset that would happen, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I'm only about Detroit at this point. And even with Detroit, it's like I don't know. I want to see how we play next game. I feel like they really punched us in the mouth. We didn't respond. I kind of feel like it's the turnovers. I feel like it's this. There's 2 things with Detroit that worry me. One of the turnovers is the same thing the same reason why we lost to OKC back in the day. Like they turned the ball, they turned us over so much we couldn't get into our actions, and we just crapped the bed. But like I feel like if we move the ball offensively, it's not just so Jalen Brunson centric offense. We'll have a chance. I think that's why we look the Toronto Raptors. They did that to us. I feel like I was having flashes of Detroit defense on us when Toronto started the game. But we started to move the ball and the man together and get into our offensive flow and actually start to get open shots once more. And we have better 3-point shooters than the Detroit Pistons. So it's like as long as we keep our offense moving, we have better shooters. We should be able to contain them, especially if we have if you're having like OG and Mikal on Cade. Maybe more so OG on Cade. But yeah, that's how I see it anyway.
Jay, I told Phil, I said, don't buy a lottery ticket today because Phil and I were agreeing on every single point when we had our midday pod. And you know, Jay, you know better than anyone. Me and Phil don't agree on anything.
I always say that too. I said I don't be agreeing with Phil a lot.
Me and Phil were bar for bar. I was like, Phil, I was giving him the round of applause. He cut on that midday pod. If you haven't watched that, don't you doubt, because him and Fritz both brought the heat. Fritz had some hella great takes on that pod as well.
That's what's up. I gotta go watch that. I was freaking super busy today at my job. So thank God for a damn team because
love.
Yeah, man. But I'm pretty sure I did a great job and dropped some bars because I always do, especially when Fritz is on the team too and gets in his little 2-cent bag where he's like, actually, this trade is impossible. Actually, they're more motivated to do this because of it. I'm like, okay, Fritz.
He was. You don't be proud of him when you watch the pod. You'd be proud of him and Phil, man. They both had elite takes.
Absolutely, definitely got.
We all agree that's scary. But real AD, by the way, I'm B. By the way, I'm not. I would love Giannis. I would love Giannis, just not mid-season. That's all. I would love Giannis. Just not mid-season.
Oh man, shout out to
Miss P.
No, B. I think he heard P, but B. But yes, no, I would love Giannis, just not mid-season. That's all I've been. I believe in this team to get through the season. Healthy, of course. We need a fully healthy team. I think we got to make a little bit of pieces off. Like if we definitely have to move Yabo to get something else, whether it be a center. Tonight it looked like a center because when Huck got into foul trouble, Towns was needed to rest. No Mitch. If Mitch is not going to play back-to-back all seasons, it looks like we should go for a big. So that's why if we are going to get Reap, please send him through. That'd be nice. But I think that's what we need to do right now, get something off the end of the bench, keep this team going and flowing, and whatever happens in the offseason. And if the offseason, I'm praying that these other teams do not take him because I think that if Giannis could thug it out with the Milwaukee Bucks, I think they should trade Doc Rivers first before they trade Giannis. Maybe that'd help Milwaukee a little bit, at least get the play in. But I would hope that another team, that Giannis looks at the other deals and tells Milwaukee, please no, just wait for the Knicks to figure it out, and then we do land him eventually. I'm not against Giannis at all, just not mid-season.
Miss me, oh man, yeah. Doc Rivers is still working. That's crazy.
Oh God.
All right, there you go.
This is my favorite comment so far. This one right here, Jay.
Well, I'm no longer worried about the Raptors. We are much better. We are much better shooters. Nah, for sure.
Great take, Ned Cat.
For sure. Like these teams that play great defense but don't have better shooting. Like those are the teams that have been our biggest threats, like the OKCs and like if we actually play defense, we should beat these teams. Like if we play defense to our potential, we should beat these teams straight up. That goes for OKC too. All right, yo. That's the show. Thank you guys for watching. Lee, let them know they can find you, man.
Bring the smoke. Love a debate. I'm here all day, all night, 24/7. Down to fight. Underscore Lee Escobedo. LEEESCOBEDO. Got some heat coming from a Guardian within a week. My piece on Denny Avija, the IDF, and the Portland Trailblazers All-Star candidacy, as well as some more work coming for Bleacher Report and Yard Barker dropping Friday.
All right. B, let them know they can find you.
Yes, please. Sporty Spice on Instagram. On Twitter, Instagram as well. SPORTYSPICCE. Come through. I don't know if I follow you real ID, but please follow. I would love to follow back. Wingstop. No, I heard Wingstop is nasty in Portland. Stop it.
Portland's too organic for all that. Come on now.
Oh man. Yo, Ryan G, let them know they can find you, man.
You can find me on Twitter at Ryan G KOT. You can also find me on Instagram at Sir G is chilling.
Sir G is chilling.
That's SIR. G is CHILLIN.
All right. You can find us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Nick of Time Show on Instagram, and the Nick of Time Show on Facebook as well. Cool. I have one more thing to say, but I forgot. It's escaping me right now. Damn. I had it, and it's gone. Watch me remember when I end the show.
Oh, I have something.
What?
What's up, Lee?
Yeah, sir.
Hold on, where was it?
Yeah, sir.
There.
Yeah.
Oh, I know where it is. This one. Listen, man. Y'all know it's all love, bro. Me and Jay, first of all, Jay's not only my favorite person to debate with. That's real talk. My favorite person to debate basketball in the Knicks is Jay Ellis, because he is someone who I feel like I'd never beat. It's always just like too sore, just clap. Oh, hold up. Pause. It's always
that was a wild.
These around, you gotta do
it's an absolute battle. Right? It's a heavyweight battle when Jay and I duet it. But I also, for any fan who gets it twisted, please don't. Because after my dad and my mom, I had the most love for Jay Ellis. Jay Ellis is one of my favorite people. I will never stop loving him again, Paul, as a brother, as a friend, because he has done so much and more for my career and me as a person and helped me grow as a person more than anyone else I've met in my adult life. So don't ever get twisted. Me and Jay will duet it and we will fight tooth and nail. But sometimes it might be a little heated on the show. Y'all know it, but it's all love because there's no one I respect more than Jay Ellis. That's my man.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing, man. That wasn't. Trust me. The Knicks arguments on camera are nothing.
The ones in the group chat, hey.
Knicks debates on camera are light. Okay, that's we good. We always are good. We always be good. We fine.
Hey yo,
you I got too far now.
We gotta get a pause sound effect. By the way, I gotta get one on my end.
I'm going too far now. All right.
Oh man.
Nah, Chad, they be wilding, but I catch them. Don't worry.
All right, yo, that's the show. Thank you guys for watching. For you guys on shout out to like we gained like 10 or 11 subscribers from today's show. Yeah. So thank you guys thank you subscribers. Hope you're watching the show right now and enjoying the show. Or from our peoples on Twitter, because it's 213 in the chat right now, combining YouTube and Twitter. That means there is about 140 people on Twitter. If you have not subscribed to YouTube channel, what's taking so long, man? It's gonna help us in the long run. You interact more with YouTube than Twitter. I'm gonna be super honest with you. You interact more with YouTube than Twitter. So if you're in the chat, on YouTube, you get shout outs, you get all that stuff. You can put it on the screen, all that stuff. So come on to YouTube and join us. All right.
I do want to lastly say shout out to the people, because you're not going to always agree with people's takes. You're not going to always shout out to people who just keep it basketball though. If we love it's just basketball. When people get emotional and start being disrespectful and stuff, it's very lame, especially as a female. Sometimes I go on there and there's guys like calling me out my name and stuff, and I'm like, bro. So shout out to the people that sometimes I know our takes are a little bit out of the water and you might not agree with them, but shout out to people who just keep it basketball, because we enjoy it. We don't want everybody to be yes men and agree with everything. It's boring like that. So shout out to people who come through, keep it basketball, and we enjoy that.
Yep.
Facts. And nobody here are yes men or say, like, we all speak our mind. That's why I like this group. And we'll disagree on camera and don't care about it. And we'll keep it respectful. So that's why I like this. All right. Yo. That is the show. Thank you guys for watching. And as
say Koleck.
Shout out the World Wide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
Mercer here in these Knicks streets. That's the show. We out of here.
Peace. And there ain't gonna be no damn sword fighting on the KOT show, all right?
Hey,
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.